2022 is almost over and a lot has changed. Let's take a look at how things evolved and how COVID changed the challenges we are facing today. In today's episode, we will talk with Jean-Baptiste Mahieux, better known as JB. He is the HC contact for the assurance line of service and has been with the firm for a little over 4 years. Hi JB.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us today. How are you feeling?
Good, and you?
Very well. Maybe the Christmas party from the HC department was a little bit tough or rough last night.
Yeah, indeed.
But yeah, happy to be here. 9 a.m.
9 a.m., yeah.
9 a.m. very early on. And we are going to discuss 2022 and what has changed in the HC department and maybe also the influence of COVID. So this has been a very eventful year for our department. So what have been the biggest changes for you in regards to HC and how we do human experience, employee experience at PwC Luxembourg?
Well, I would say the first thing that comes to my mind is regarding the flexibility as such. Meaning whatever if it's in HC, so in our department or as such the organization at PwC, the way we are doing things change. And what I mean about this, it's about 3 topics on the flexibility: the when, the where, and the how. The when meaning how we make our work, how we organize our daily day, I would say, the daily basis. It changed a bit. Some people wants to come earlier, some people wants to stay a little bit late. And we have this flexibility here to say, okay, this is when I want to work and how I want to organize my professional life based on my personal, I would say, organization as well. And this is something that, for me at least, since I'm here, changed during the past years, right? Then we have the point regarding the where. Of course, now we have this opportunity to work from home, also to work from satellite offices. And it's really a game changer for us because in Luxembourg, of course, we have a lot of cross-border. I'm also counting myself in this population. And definitely it makes sense also to benefit from satellite offices and also to work a bit from home. Finally, regarding the how, it's of course the use of the new technologies, also the fact that now we trust people to work remotely. You don't have to be face to face to make things happen, basically. And now we structure the organization in this flexibility mode, I would say, that allows everyone to give their best.
Yeah, do you think like COVID sped up the process of creating flexibility for the employee?
Yeah, definitely, because at that time we didn't have a choice. It's even you get the flexibility or nothing happened, basically, to my opinion. So, of course, for me, it speed up a bit the process. Now, I'm quite impressed about how fast we adapt. Of course, we are still adapting, meaning it's something evolving, definitely. Nevertheless, when it appears and when we said from one week to another one, oh, by the way, we are working full remotely all together as of next week, we adapt again. We adapt, and thanks to the fact we already start to use new technologies such as, I would say, the Meet environment, or the Google solution and whatever, it helped a lot, yeah. But once again, I'm pretty sure, to my opinion, it speed up the process for sure.
Because I joined during the COVID period, so I don't really know how it has been before.
Yeah.
So I always got used to all the flexibility and working from wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, starting my day at 7 a.m. because maybe I had an obligation at 5 p.m. that I needed to leave the office for. So I always got lucky to start my career in an environment accepting flexibility.
Yeah.
So I think we can officially say now that we're in the post-COVID era. Do you feel like COVID caused some changes in the way you do your job?
Personally, the way I do my job, yes, as I mentioned regarding to the organization and the thing that we work all as a team. Of course, you need to adapt to each, I would say, person constraint and making sure that things are moving smoothly. Whatever, again, it's done physically or not. This being said, in my daily basis, the way I'm doing my job, not as such. The main point I would say, to not especially meet everyone physically. And I must say that for me, it has been a bit hard at the beginning for the simple reason that, let's take an example, a concrete one, the new joiners. When we have new joiners, I I do believe it's important to meet them, not especially individually, because if I take my example, I'm in charge of assurance, part of the assurance, and we have a lot of new juniors there, right? So I cannot say that I meet them individually. This is not true. But I tried my best to meet them, right? At least physically as well. And during the COVID period, of course, I couldn't. So we organize some Google Meet to make sure we meet them virtually, but it's not the same feeling, especially when it comes to people and you want to meet this person. So yeah.
Yeah. Because I had my first onboarding in October 2020 and it was like, we kind of hybrid setup. It was not the same. We were not allowed to even get up from our seat. So we needed to be seated at all times. We were only allowed to leave if we needed to go to a toilet or just pick something up from the other end of the room. But I didn't have the same onboarding experience and some of the other new joiners that have joined before me that were able just to connect with people on the first day. And even after on, I think some of the clients I have internally, I've met after a year for the first time face to face. And yesterday I met the first person in a meet. We always just exchanged emails and chats. So yesterday I saw him for the first time and I've been here for almost 2.5 years.
Yeah, but I can imagine. Same, I would say, a good anecdote about this is to see people physically for the first time. I met also some people for the first time after 1 year and a half because they joined you during the COVID period time. And yeah, it's always a kind of surprise to say, oh, by the way, we know each other for already almost 2 years now. And we finally meet, So yeah.
These are just some COVID repercussions, but it's getting better. You also feel the need from people to do more face-to-face. And if we maybe speak on a more global level for anything human capital related at PwC, have there been any changes that you feel like have been sped up or even caused by COVID and not only regarding flexibility?
Yes, and the first one I would like to start with will probably be regarding the use of data, meaning we already started this a bit earlier, but now we understand the importance of data, and I cannot explain exactly the reason why behind, but at least I saw the fact that we speed up a bit the process in terms of the way we are using our data in HR and what we want to do with that. I'm the first one to say I'm fully a people-oriented for sure. Nevertheless, I'm also the first one to say without proper data and without using the data in HR, you cannot make proper decision. Why? Because it's based on this data that you can take some decision. I won't say all of them, but at least important one to say, okay, we start from factual things, and not only about a feeling. Of course, it's a question about feeling as well, people, but you need this kind of data. And we have this opportunity to, this chance to have, I would say, some tools in place that allow us to collect data and to analyze them to make our decision. I also give you a concrete example about this. For instance, the most common one we use every year, it's the Global People Survey. So we send a Global People Survey to everyone each year, globally speaking, not only at PwC Luxembourg, by the way, but globally. And thanks to this data, we can analyze the trend in terms of how people, what people think about the company as such and what we can improve. All right. And yeah, thanks to this data, we can, of course, orientate a bit of strategy and make concrete action if needed. This is, by the way, what we did in the past years and already last year as well, but concrete changes and a concrete decision.
Yeah, the data just allows you to open the discussion because you have some facts about things people are not maybe happy about or could be improved. So you open that discussion based on the data, but still you listen to the people and what their feelings are about the things, right?
Yeah, and plus again, the data to have a big picture. If I again speak for myself and for the assurance department, of course, we have a big voice in assurance, but not only. PwC Luxembourg is about assurance, tax, advisory, and IFS. And you need to obviously hear from everyone. So that's why these data are really important to have this overview.
Yeah, same for recruitment.
Yeah.
But our data is harder to collect because our data are human beings. So it's not always as accurate maybe as for the GPS, the Global People Survey. But still, it's also for us very important to give a better picture of what we're doing, what the status is, and just what general is going on in the department. Because, as you said, we are people-oriented. So our work is not always reflected in the system. Same as someone who would do data or like does a project. They have a project file they fill out, but we do people. So it's very, very different for us to actually show people what we're doing. And for the upcoming year, because we're at the end of 2022, what areas do you see most room for improvement?
Still about data, I think there is a lot of to do, meaning we are only at the beginning. We are only at the beginning, and I cannot say I dream about this world, but I really think about it really hard, about some dashboard we can use on a daily basis to help us and not, I will say, make this extract of data and analysis by yourself, so manually afterwards, to have something automatized. And I know we are going on the right way, by the way, thanks to the HRIS team, but also the dedicated data team internally that help us to do so. So for me, that's one of the biggest, I would say, challenge. We are already on it, but again, it's not something we start now. We are on it for a few years already, but I see the light, I would say, and I have good hopes. It will come out really soon, right? In the coming year. Then one more thing, it's also something we are currently working on. It's the onboarding. How we onboard our people, what experience we deliver to our people, and especially this new joiner. We attract and I will say hire more and more people each year. And we want again to enhance this experience of onboarding, right? And make sure that people feel well integrated within the firm. Another thing I would say, it's what we call the dedicated career path or differentiated career paths, meaning there is not only one way to make your career. You can start as an accountant, as an auditor, and finishing as a data analyst at the end, or working in the marketing. I start my career in HR, but I'm interested in so many things. So I cannot say that in a 2 years basis, I would say work in data, for instance, or work in advisory or in another thing. I don't know. And the thing is, we are currently working on this, and for me, this is critical that we get to the point to have a personalized career path for everyone. And one, I would say one, but not the least, because it might sound as a detail, but believe me, for me, it might have a big impact. So small change, big impact, paperless. This is true. I dream about a world where we don't have printers anymore. And we start already our journey about this. Print less and less, but I think there's a lot of to do still. Yeah. To go paperless. Especially
because you work with suppliers that's still not going paperless. So
yeah,
there's in fact a lot about how we do our job and how we handle paperless working.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for all those insights. It was lovely for you to join us. And Happy New Year's Eve and Happy Christmas, because at the end of December.
Yeah, already. Thanks again for having me, and I will say I wish you a lovely Christmas.
Thank you.
Right. See you.
See you next year. That's it for today's episode. And if you don't want to miss out on our upcoming stories, hit subscribe and feel free to share. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening, and see you for the next episode of Casual Side in 2023.